We want to make a game that has content for hardcore gamers, but the content in the game is not only for hardcore players. One of our goals, especially with the Elder game, is to add a whole bunch of content for every sort of playstyle that people want to do, whether it's solo, like casual group content, the hardcore PvE content, a bunch of different PvP options, stuff like that. Hopefully, we're going to have a bunch of different stuff on the end for my team. There's a level 50 dungeon. There's also 4 level 50 veteran dungeons. There's 4 level 40 adventures. There's a 20-man raid and a 40-man raid. And that's just the stuff that we'll have at launch. And that's only including the PvE group content. There will also be battlegrounds, arenas, war plots, housing, a bunch of pocket cap play spaces for level 50 public events and stuff like that for solo players. The monthly updates will also include a bunch of world story solo instances that explain a lot of the ongoing story for Nexus. Players are players, they're going to consume content really quickly. Our goal is to release enough content with the quick monthly patches in order to always have new content for different play styles with each patch and kind of rotate between them so that stuff stays fresh as much as possible post-launch. The post-launch content patches right now are planned to be about once a month. They'll vary in size, and there's not going to be new dungeons and raids in every single patch, but we do have a pretty aggressive post-launch schedule.
I know that the power level on crafting items can get fairly high, but we do want the raid content, or the raid drops, to be the best thing in game. But you can help get yourself equipped to that level easier through stuff as trade skills. But the top end stuff will always be from the raids, and or war plots and arenas. Currently, the looking for group system is only for things like war plots, dungeons, adventures, the smaller content. We want raids to be more of an organized structure thing, and we want players to have to organize and form up their own raid to go to it. We don't necessarily want pickup raids, because our raids are not exactly intended for pickup groups. It's more for the hardcore organized raiding guilds, and it would be, we think it'd probably not turn out so well if we just let people do a randomized grouping up to go to a raid content. Well, when we're designing a fight, the first thing we look at is, we look at all the players, how many players we're going to have there, and we look at how long we want the fight to be. And we try to make sure that we have interesting things happening frequently within the fight so you don't become bored. We don't want you to just sit there and push buttons, right? So we try to make sure that when we're designing the fight, we have interesting things popping up in the timeline of the fight every so often. We also try to occupy each of the roles of the classes. So you want to make sure the healers have something to do, the DPS have something to do and that's interesting, and the tanks have something to do that's interesting. You have to make sure all of those have something to do, some interesting thing that's happening in the fight frequently enough that they don't get bored. So as we play these fights and design these fights, we'll have an initial idea, we'll test it out, we'll say, hey, were we getting bored? Was that too long? Was 40 seconds for that particular phase of the fight too much? Do we need to introduce something new there? And then we just kind of play it by ear, see if we're getting bored, keep playing it, and making sure that the fight feels fun, fresh, and exciting at all stages through the thing. Even if it's a 2-minute fight or a 15-minute fight, it has to stay fresh through all minutes of the fight.
Les Exilés, un groupe disparate de réfugiés de hors-la-loi et de mercenaires, y affrontent le Dominion, un puissant empire interstellaire n'ayant qu'un but, le contrôle total de la planète. Embarquez-vous avec Carbine Studios pour l'aventure intergalactique la plus épique, la plus délirante et la plus destructrice de l'histoire de l'univers. Bienvenue dans Wildstar. L'aventure va se prendre une